Hi, and good afternoon. Welcome to this week's meditation session. It's my first meditation session with Virtual Village Hall, and I'm really grateful for being provided with this space. And it's also a privilege to be part of the Mind Space Week, representing World Mental Health Day as well. So I just want to thank everyone for joining, and I look forward to sharing this session with you. I believe that you can put in some questions if you need to. The meditation obviously will be something that you do for yourself, but obviously at the end of it, if you need it to ask any questions, then please do. If you can make sure that you've got some water ready, and if you have pen and paper also as well, you can make notes of what may come up for you at the end of the meditation. So I just want to cover quite briefly at the start of this session the 5 steps to mental health for well-being that is provided for the NHS. And if you go to their website, they've actually got quite a lot of handy tips and advice for meditation and health and weight loss, etc. So if you need to get some sound advice, then head over to the NHS website. So just a bit about me. So I'm Daniela. I own She Who Heals. It's a therapy business. I also run meditation courses that I created. It's called First Steps to Inner Peace, and it's an 8-week course. And then I've gone on to develop more on different subjects so that people can continue once they've done the first steps to inner peace. They kind of enjoy it and they want to know more and to advance. So I've done that as well. So that's kind of a bit about myself. I've been a therapist for 22 years. I started off with reflexology, and I've done various modalities throughout the years, and Rouhani healing is one of my biggest loves, and it creates such a wonderful energy for people and helps them to sort of repair themselves and their lives as well. So which is it's an amazing blessing. So that's I also work actually as a social prescriber, which is how I found out about this event. So I work for the NHS providing what is meant to be low-level mental health for people, but obviously the needs of everyone today in the culture that we are in, and the way that we're living at the moment. Obviously, after the pandemic, we are still experiencing the side effects from that as well. So that's just a little bit about me and who I am. So the 5 steps to mental well-being, the first one being connection. And so we can help each other and ourselves by making sure that we are staying in contact with each other and supporting each other and making sure that we spend time. So it's very easy for us to get caught up in our own world. We see what is in front of us, and we are all kind of tackling that at the moment, especially with the news at the moment. My advice is not to watch the news, but that's obviously your personal choice. But it can affect us mentally, and it can take us on, lines of worry that we don't actually need to really think about. And so, when we're staying in connection with each other, we can have good times. So if you're living within a family, make sure that you are turning the TV on and having conversations with your kids, finding out what's going on for them, making sure that you are connecting with your parents as well. As a social prescriber, I speak to quite a lot of elderly parents that when I say, have you got any support locally, it's invariable that their children kind of live at a distance. and they also don't want to interrupt their lives because they think, oh, well, they're busy and they're getting on with it. But there's quite a lot of parents out there that have got children that live further away, and obviously I get that there's a need to be living our own lives, but also as well, maybe check in a little bit more often with your parents and see what they need, because I know there's a lot of parents out there that are sort of withholding contacting their children because they don't really want to upset them and put a burden on them, and so they're trying to like deal with life themselves. But maybe, like I say, just think about it and check in with them a bit more often. Obviously, check in with your children and, make sure that you're having lunches or dinners together. Think about your work colleagues. Somebody might be single, they might be living on their own, and work is kind of what they use as their social life as well. So, maybe suggest to a work colleague that you will have lunch together and just spend that time, but wanting to hear what they're saying. It's very easy to sort of pay lip service to people, but we need to be listening to each other and listening to key things that people are saying, and noticing changes in behaviour. Because the signals are there once we sort of like start noticing things. If people are struggling, if they are sort of changing how they are behaving, if they're not taking care of themselves in a hygiene fashion, that could be a little signal that people are kind of struggling. It might not, it's obviously not verbal. People don't tend to be verbal because they want to put a brave face on it, but there will be little signs that I could cover in a different session. But for today, we're just concentrating on the 5 steps to mental well-being, and we will do meditation as well after that as well. So skills, improving your skill set. So it can be doing something that you have always wanted to do. We've got, all of us, I think, have got things on our bucket list, things that we would like to try, things that we would like to improve on. For me, I've always wanted to be able to speak Italian fluently. Unfortunately, my father never taught me, so just through work commitments. And so as an adult, especially through lockdown, I got caught up with Duolingo, and it's really helped me to kind of fulfill something that I've always wanted to do. I've got a good understanding, but I needed to improve my vocabulary. So I've used Duolingo, and I highly recommend it if you are wanting to learn a new language. But also, obviously, our colleges and universities provide adult education, and so they all provide wonderful syllabuses, and it's something for you to think about, especially if you're wanting to meet new people. If you've gone to a different area, it's a great way to meet new people and expand your knowledge, expand yourself. They say, don't they, that once if you do your hobby as a job, you never work another day in your life. And you know you don't know where situations can take you, opportunities. I haven't always been in the therapy business. I've been in retail for a number of years and decided that I would, change direction, and I'm forever thankful that I did. So it's never too late, and you have always got opportunities, and even when you think things aren't possible, you never know until you try. But make sure that you always do something that you love. There's no point in thinking, oh, well, I'll do, a course in accounting. If you're not numerically inclined, then it's no point doing it just because you think it's going to bring the money in. So I would recommend, obviously, doing something that is going to inspire you, that brings you joy, brings you happiness, and creatively fulfills you. And so the next one is being active. So obviously we get good endorphins in our bodies from doing exercise. That can be from walking to swimming to obviously doing the more extreme things like running marathons and hiking and things like that. So we can go to the gym and work out. Obviously, there can be a tendency sometimes to maybe think that you need to keep going to the gym to, you know, keep improving. It can be a little addictive, so make sure that you are doing what you need to do rather than kind of it taking over your life. Also, as well, obviously, it's a great place to meet people, and you never know who you're going to meet, especially if you're single in a gym. Anyway, so the next one is giving back. So obviously, making sure that you are spending time with people, making sure that you are helping someone if and when you can. Obviously, I understand that everyone's super busy at the moment, and the pressure is on for all of us. But just odd phone call, how are you? Even the text message. We can stay connected with social media. We can make the mistake of assuming how people are just because of what they're putting up on their posts. And they might be doing a fancy holiday, they could be doing pictures of delicious meals and things like that, but behind the scenes they could also be struggling. So never get confused or um, put off by what you're seeing. People want to obviously put the best of their lives on social media. They're not going to put that they've had a row with so and so. I know some people do, but the majority of us don't. And, we don't always want other people to know that we are struggling and that things aren't going as well as they could be or we would like them to be. So make sure that you are actually, checking in with people in person, because, what you see on social media, as we all know, isn't always the truth. And so when we're giving back, make sure that we are giving back for the right reasons. And it's not for personal gain. Yes, personal gains might come out of you doing something good for somebody else, but it should never be at the core of why you are doing something to help somebody else. It should always be, from the kindness of your heart that you are helping somebody else. And so the last one is the mindfulness. So we are thinking beings. We are always going to think. We are constantly bombarded with us having to think. So even you being on this live chat today, the live stream, you've had to think about turning on your devices at the right time. You've had to think about where you're going to be, especially as it's a Monday and it's 4:30. It's going to be potentially you're going to be at work, or you might be thinking, well, I've got to get home in time, or I can watch it on the catch up. You're thinking about, we have to think about absolutely everything. And so mindfulness is a wonderful tool to help us to become in the present moment. There's a saying, that there's no better place to be than right here and right now. That is what the whole ethos about mindfulness is. It's like being in the present moment. We we're always, on the go. We've got our monkey mind chatter. We've got thoughts that are coming in constantly, and even when we're doing one thing, we're still thinking about doing something else. So when we're washing up, we can still have thoughts of, what we're going to do later on this evening, about getting the children to bed, what we're going to do at work, what happened today at work. We're thinking about booking a holiday. We're thinking about a conversation we had with partners or parents or friends. We're thinking about the money situation, especially at the moment. That we're just constantly thinking. And so mindfulness can bring in a sense of peace into our minds. So it's like when you are washing up, if you notice like the water going over your hands, if the sunlight coming through the window, then you can notice the little droplets of water that are splashing out. You may have used fairy liquid, and all other fairy liquids are available as well, washing up liquids. So we can become mindful in the simplest of settings. When we have a shower, we subconsciously we start washing ourselves in the same place. For some reason, mine is my left shoulder, and I don't know why, but it always is. And so, when we become mindful, we can be more in the present moment, and we can think, well, okay, I'm going to change that up today, and maybe I'm going to wash my right foot first, just so that you are being conscious rather than on autopilot. It's like thinking about which way you're going to go to drop the kids off to school, or which way you're going to go to the train station to catch a train for work, or which way you're going to drive, which way you're going to go to your mum's, which way you're going to go to the supermarket. We all get in this on automatic pilot, that we are constantly doing the same things every day, day in, day out. And so the more that we take time out to actually become aware of what we're doing, the more that we can live in the present moment. We can minimize the monkey mind chatter. We can manage our emotions and our awareness of situations. We can step out of a confrontational exchange between somebody, and you can literally say, I just want to take a breather, I want to go and get some air, and you walk away. You simply do get some air. The more oxygen that we're bringing into our body, it helps our stress levels to reduce. We reduce the cortisol level, and we reduce the feelings of fight or flight as well. So the more that we are engaging in the present moment, the more that we can take back, and we can control, but in a good way, the way that we respond to different scenarios. So when I did the First Steps to Inner Peace course, there was a lady that was, she was seriously ill. She had 2 young children, and it was our second week. I think she'd done 2 weeks. So on our third week, we always had feedback. And she said, my daughter asked me why I didn't shout at her, because I didn't respond in the normal way that I would have responded to her prior to doing the course. And it took her back, because obviously she didn't realise that she was constantly shouting at her child, and understandably so. She was very ill. And so obviously there was a lot of anxiety there and everything. But, doing mindfulness, doing the meditation, it helped her to actually step back and realise that by connecting to her breath, becoming more in the present moment, that she could actually take control of her behaviour and provide obviously more support for her daughter. So I'm just telling you that because it's a powerful tool that we can use. It might sound a bit woo-woo to people, and it's not. It's something that we're all capable of doing at any given moment. When you're stood in a queue, waiting to pay, we can feel the floor beneath our feet. We can make our spine, stand up. We can stand erect. We can support our shoulders. We can relax our shoulders. We can support our head. We can become aware of our environment, and we can become aware of our breath as we are standing in a queue. Even if the environment's busy, we just connect to our breath, and so we're taking our thoughts away, and the attention away from our thoughts, and we're taking it to our breath. And then the more that we do that, the more that we can then help to calm ourselves down, and we can start noticing what's around us. You might see somebody and you might smile at them, and that might make their day. We don't know what anyone else is going through. We don't know if that person won't speak to anyone that day. They go out to be sociable, and interact with people. So the more that we come into the present moment, the more that we can be our best version of ourselves, really, because we are taking our control back by being in that present moment, and we are, finding the space between the thoughts. And, we all have monkey mind chatter, and the aim of mindfulness and meditation is to find that space between the thoughts. And so meditation isn't a religious act. Some people have said to me, oh, well, is it spiritual? Well, no, it's not spiritual. We are, a lot of people think, that we are human beings having a spiritual experience, but we're not. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. And the more that we step into that energy, the more that we realize that there is more to us as human beings and to the environment around us. The same energy that created, plants and trees created us as human beings. So once we step into that energy, we realize that there is more to us. And when we step into the meditation as well, we realize that we are we're able to control ourselves by connecting to our breath. And once we find the space between each thought, then we can start finding the beauty, and we start getting information through from our higher consciousness as well. So although it's not a spiritual thing, it's not connected to any religion whatsoever. Obviously, like we all know about Buddhism and how connected meditation is to Buddhism, but it's something that we can all do. It provides us with the inner peace that we all need. So that being said, I want you to make sure that you are sitting comfy. And if you need to get some water, please do. And so for meditation, you need to make sure that you have a straight spine. So wherever you are lying down, make sure your spine is straight. And if you are sitting upright, then obviously make sure that you're not slumped over, because there needs to be a straight spine so that we've got the connectivity to the energy within our body. And just as long, make sure that you are sat comfortably. That's all you need to do. Obviously, if you can have your feet on the ground, that would be great. If not, you don't need to be sitting in the like the full yoga position. Just make sure that you are sat comfortably. And so if you've got music that you want to play in the background, please do. Or you can just connect to the peace that is around you. And if you notice any sounds, just go with it. So just start by feeling the relaxation across the top of your scalp. And as you're doing this, you just breathe in and out. And in and out. And in and out. And you can just have a nice, gentle rhythm to your breath. If you want to, you can breathe in for the count of 4 and exhale for the count of 6. But your natural breath will do just as well. So you just keep breathing in and out. You just allow the top of your scalp to relax. And you're bringing that relaxation down through the front of your face, across your forehead, down around your eyes, relaxing all the little muscles around your eyes. And you just allow the relaxation to drop down around your face, around your mouth, relaxing all the little muscles around your mouth. And you leave a little space between your teeth as your jawline relaxes. And you just allow the relaxation to flow down through your neck, the front and the sides of your neck. And the relaxation spreads out through the tops of your shoulders and down through your arms, down into your elbows, down through your forearms, into your palms of your hands, the backs of your hands, and down through to your fingers. And just allow your fingers to relax. And you may feel a little tingling as your tips of your fingers just relax. And you just allow the relaxation to travel back up through the palms of your hands, your wrists, your elbows, up through the tops of your arms, to your shoulders and down through your chest, your abdomen, and down through into your hips, your thighs, and down through your knees, and your knees soften. And the relaxation travels down through your calves, your ankles, and into your feet, down through to the tips of your toes. And just allow the relaxation to tingle in the tips of your toes. And just allow the relaxation to travel back up through the soles of your feet, through the back of your calves, backs of your knees, through your thighs, your hips, and back up through your abdomen and into your chest and up through your neck, your jawline, and up through your face. And just know that you're safe, you're protected as this relaxation flows up through your face, over the top of your scalp, down the back of your scalp, the sides, into the back of your neck, and your neck muscles just let go. And the relaxation spreads out through the tops of your shoulders and down the whole of your back. And just imagine your whole body is like ice cream. It's cool. But as the relaxation travels down, your whole body starts to melt as you let go of the tension that you might be holding in the tops of your shoulders. You just let go. And the relaxation flows down through your back. And as it gets to your lower back, you feel more supported by the couch, the floor, the bed, the seat, wherever you're sitting, wherever you're lying. You just feel that little bit more supported. And the relaxation travels down through your hips, your thighs, the backs of your knees, down through to the soles of your feet. And down through to the tips of your toes. Now I want you to focus in on your center of your forehead, your mind's eye. And if you're not a visual person, please do not worry. Just go with the relaxation. Just follow my voice. There's no right or wrong way to meditate. We just need to create the space between the thoughts. And if your mind gets distracted, just always come back to the breath. Because while you're thinking about your breath, you aren't thinking about anything else. So you may be wanting to count in to the count of 4 and out to the count of 6. But if any thoughts are popping up into your mind, just allow them to drift off as if they're taken away on butterflies or balloons or bubbles that you can pop. You just release and let go of any day-to-day thoughts that may be entering your mind, like what you're going to have for dinner after this session, what time do you need to get up tomorrow for work, all the day-to-day mundane things that right now aren't important. You are here, you are right now, there's nowhere else you need to be. And so just in your mind's eye, I want you to create a beautiful garden. And you just visualize yourself out in nature. And it's a beautiful sunny day. And the wind is gently brushing your face. There's a beautiful scent of flowers in the garden, and all the colours and vibrancy of the plants are all around you. And you notice that there is a wall around the garden. And within that wall, there's a gate. And the gate has your name on it. And you go over to the wooden gate. And you open it. And as you go through the gate, you notice that there are 10 steps in front of you. And I'm going to gently count you down from 10 to 1, and on 1 you will arrive at the bottom of the stairs. So 10, you're relaxing. 9, your body is feeling heavy. 8, 7, you're relaxing more and more. 6, your body's feeling heavy. 5, 4, you're nearly there. 3, 2, last one. 1. And you step off the last step and you notice that your feet are in sand. And there's a beautiful beach before you. And you walk along the beach. And it may be a beach that you know, it may be a beach that has popped into your mind today. Either way, that's okay. And you just walk along the beach. You can smell the fresh air of the sea. You can hear the waves gently lapping at the shore. You can feel the peace within you as you walk along the beach, the sand beneath your toes. There's a warmness to the air that surrounds you. There's a breeze gently flowing in the air. And you walk along the beach. And there may be palm trees swaying. There may be calypso music. Just allow the sounds to appear in your mind. And as you walk along the beach, you notice that there's a comfy seat. It's soft to touch. It's comfortable to sit in. You take a seat for a while as you look out to sea. You feel completely relaxed, safe. Then you sit back in the chair and you gently close your eyes. And I want you just to connect to your breath, and if any thoughts come up of day-to-day life, you just acknowledge them, you thank them, because if they're important, they will come back to you. But for now, the only place you need to be is right here, right now, taking time out for yourself. You are making the space between the thoughts. Your breath is your guide. And so just sit here for a while, just taking it in. Just keep connecting to your breath and just see what comes up for you. You may see colours, you may see visions. But for now, just go with it. Just feel the space between the thoughts. There's no right way, there's no wrong way. You just connect to your breath. You're breathing in, you're breathing out, and you're letting go. This is your space, your time. You may feel like you're going to doze off, so please do. Just acknowledge the peace. Keep breathing in, breathing out. Just release any thoughts that keep popping up. Just keep breathing in, breathing out. This is your time. And whether this is the first time that you've meditated or you're a seasoned meditator, just enjoy the peace, the relaxation. It's doing your body good. Your blood pressure will be lowering, and the more oxygen that you're breathing in will help your blood to be enriched with the oxygen, which will help your organs, your brain function. Just keep breathing in and breathing out while you're sat on this beautiful beach that you've created in your own mind. This beautiful place. And just imagine you've created this beautiful place, what you could create in real life just by meditating. You're breathing in, you're breathing out, and just go with it. This may feel uncomfortable if it's your first time meditating, but once you get through it, you feel more relaxed. And it's always the unknown, isn't it, when you haven't done something before? You're wondering what's happening, whether you're doing it right. You can't get it wrong. It's just relax into it. You're breathing in, you're breathing out. So in a few moments, minutes, I'm going to start to bring you back. So when you're ready in your mind's eye, you stand up from the chair that's on your beautiful beach. You walk back along the sand. You can feel the sand beneath your toes. You can hear the birds in the trees, the seagulls in the sky. You can hear the waves lapping at the shore as you walk back to the stairs that you first came down. And you're walking back along the beach. You're feeling refreshed, you're feeling revitalized, you're feeling renewed. You're feeling at peace. So you walk along the beach, thankful for the time that you've had. And you get to the stairs and you go back up the stairs to step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You go back through the wooden gate, or whatever your gate looked like. You come back into the garden, and it's still full of beautiful fresh flowers. It's still a sunny day. There's still a warm, gentle breeze brushing against your face. Now, before I bring you back, I want you just to visualize that there's a dial that you can turn on your side. And I want you to visualize a colour, can be your favourite colour, that is starting within your tummy. And as you turn the dial, the colour turns and spreads out through the whole of your body. And as you turn the dial, the sense of peace and calmness, serenity, turns up through your body. So you just keep visualizing you're turning up the dial, and as you're doing so, the colour is flooding your body. And every time you see this colour, it will remind you of the peace that you have within you right now. It will provide you with a sense of calm, a sense of joy and serenity. So you keep turning up that dial, and as you do so, the colour then starts to flood out all around you into your energy field around you. It just spreads out outside through your body. And you just feel that beautiful vibrancy of the colours flowing through your body. And when you wake up tomorrow morning, I want you to visualise the dial on your side. And as you do so, you can turn it up, and so that it brings back a sense of peace, calm, maybe invigoration. Whatever feelings that you wish to feel and want to wash through you, just allow that colour to flow through you, attached to all the positivity. And so right now I want you to just visualise 6 strong roots growing down from the soles of your feet and going into the earth, And as they grow down into the earth, you get a sense of peace coming up through the roots. It gives you a sense of connectedness, sense of groundedness. And I'm going to count you back from 5 to 1, and on 1, you will awaken feeling refreshed, revitalized, and ready for the rest of the day. So 5, you're feeling the couch, the floor, the sofa beneath you. 4, you're bringing your awareness back into the room. 3, you're starting to wiggle your fingers and toes. 2, your eyes are beginning to open. And 1, you're back in the room and fully awake. So I hope everyone enjoyed that session. I really enjoyed it. It's my first live session for the Royal Voluntary Service, so the village hall, virtual village hall, sorry. So I hope you all enjoyed it. If you want to ask any questions, please do. So make sure you're going to drink water, lots of water to help everything flush through. So if you had any visions or any colours or messages, or you just want to write down your experience, then do so now while it's sort of fresh in your mind. So thank you for all the comments and the thank yous, and thank you for joining me. So thank you, Sue Dixon, Sharon Lee, Lisa Broughton, Lynn Green, Irene, Karen Hanson, Adrienne Winters, I think that was, sorry, it went too quick. So Celia, thank you. Flower, thank you as well. So Lynn Green. Love and light to you, Lisa, as well. Thank you so much. I hope you all enjoyed it. And hopefully I can do another one soon. Have a good evening. Just make sure if you're going somewhere now, make sure you're fit to drive, and that you are grounded before you do so. So make sure you're drinking water, and and have a great evening. Hope that set you up for the week.